What is up, guys? Good morning, and welcome to the Kick-Ash Podcast live via One True Sport. We are so happy to be here. I am so happy to be here this morning. Very sorry for the delay. There was some issues being able to log in this morning, but we got that all sorted out. They can't stop the shine, man. They can't stop us today. So we are here to go over the chamber, right? I know a lot of people have already done some prediction shows, so we are going to touch on the chamber, obviously, because that's the big deal for today, and it is the big PLE for tonight. So I want to go over that, just give some of my thoughts and some updates and happenings that we have from last night on Smackdown. Wasn't too big of a eventful show on Smackdown last night, nothing too crazy, but I did enjoy the segment that we got, obviously including CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul coming out to John Cena's music. I thought was just brilliant. We haven't seen that in a while, so and Logan Paul is the perfect person to pull something like that off. So I thought that was great. So we'll definitely be getting into that as well. But I just want to say thank you again for joining me here. We normally start at 10 a.m. or around that time frame, Eastern time at least. But we are able to get going here now. So I appreciate you guys for popping in. If you pop in now or if you watch on replay, I appreciate that as well. If you are new here, definitely subscribe to One True Sport and like the show if you'd like. Drop comments, all that good stuff, right? You guys know the drill at this point. I will be doing a watch along for the chamber this evening myself as well over on my channel, Kick-Ash Podcast. So feel free to join me over there if you'd like. It'll be my second watch along. I did the first one I did was for the Rumble, so don't expect nothing fancy, right? It's just a little group of us who get together and kind of just chat about the show as it's going along, and it was really fun. So I definitely want to do that again tonight and just shoot the shit with you guys. You know what I mean? So definitely feel free to. If you haven't, no plug or anything like that intended, but definitely subscribe to my channel if you like Kick-Ash Podcast and do a watch along with us tonight. Pop in, say hey, throw in your thoughts. Definitely curious to see what happens with The Rock and Cody Rhodes, right? And it's I'm also wondering too, is that going to be the main event, quote unquote, right? Like after the chamber, or is that going to start the show, or is it going to be? I don't see it being halfway through the show, so I'm very intrigued to see where they place it as well because I think that can dictate a lot, right? And the one thing about the chamber and just like with the Rumble this year that I love so much is the unpredictability about it all and the fact that we really are up in the air about who can win the chamber. And I love that, man. I like when I don't know really what's happening. You have some obvious choices, right? Or some choices that would you in your mind make the most sense or whatever. You have sleeper picks, but just like with the Rumble this year, like with Jay specifically, like he wouldn't even have been a sleeper pick of mine. No, no shade or disrespect, nothing like that. But you just don't think of a character like Jay's winning the Rumble, and that's what made it, in my opinion, so great and so shocking. For that whole week afterwards, I was just still in shock that Jay won. But when it was down to Cena and Jay, I was like, oh man, here we go. Cena's gonna win. And no. So I love that. I love the unpredictability, and I love that it still made sense. Like I got a lot of backlash, of course, but you can make it make sense, and I love that. And the same thing with the chamber. There's a lot of chatter that it would make a lot of sense for Cena to win with it being his last chamber. Going into WrestleMania, having that big moment. And if they want to kind of, I don't want to say throw a curveball, but they haven't really been focusing on that as much, right? With Cena and Cody specifically, and probably because Cena hasn't been there, as what Punk had referenced as well, right? But Punk is just so fucking good on the mic, man. Oh, I feel like little bits and pieces of, I don't say the old Punk, but that edgy side are starting to seep out and just I don't want to say that he was still kind of feeling out the landscape, but I feel like he's almost getting more comfortable too, and more like, okay, like, like let's go type thing. And just really, I don't know, like this is just pure speculation on my thought, right? Or on my part, right? But I feel like he's thinking like, yo, like at first you wanted to be yourself when you return, right? Being CM Punk when you return, but you want to live up to your name still, but you don't want to rock the boat because you don't really have many other places to go wrestling wise at this point. And I think now that it's been over a year since he's been back and he's really in the flux in the main event picture and like an integral piece, I feel like he's starting to really feel more comfortable and let loose a little bit more on the mic, and I'm just so excited for it. Like I'm ready for it. I don't see. So I saw a couple of people on Twitter referencing like maybe, obviously, like one of the picks of winning the chamber could be Punk and catching in his favor with Heyman and all that, which we'll dig into a little bit deeper. But I love me a heel CM Punk, man, just because him on the mic, it's turned up, right? And when he's in that realm, but and just like the viciousness, like the give no fucks version of him. So I obviously love that, right? I just don't feel like that's right now, but we'll definitely get into that. But let me pull up the comments here, and then we will obviously be going through the card itself as well. And I'll throw in a couple things that happened on SmackDown. For instance, I was not a fan of the Tiffy and Trishy segment. I feel weird saying Trishy. I don't know why. Like I don't know. It just makes me feel like weird saying calling her Trishy. So I'm just gonna call her Trish. um, but I think she did great. And to be fair, Trish was never known as being a standout on the mic, right, or anything like that. And to be fair, none of the women were because when she was around, they were barely able to get some TV time in regards to like proper matches, right? Like we had our bra and panty matches, we had our mud bath matches and shit like that, but they were never taken seriously on the mic. So she never really had even the opportunity to really practice and get better. So and I sometimes wonder too, like, man, like what would your Victorias, your Litas, and even your Trish Stratus, because people give Trish a lot of shit too, like, oh, just being a model or whatever. But she took that shit seriously when she came in. Like, she very easily could have just been a something nice for people to look at, right? Just like what, just a typical valet, a typical manager, right? And just been a pretty face and someone who just stands there and really embraces her gifts, right? But she did it, and she really took wrestling seriously. Like she really put in the effort to train and to get better and to learn to be able to go out there and wrestle. So I always gave Trish a lot of respect. She was never my number one just because Lita's always my girl, man. Lita was, oh, I just love me some Lita. But I think her and Lita, man, like just the feud that they had, was just so great, so great. And their match at, I think it was Unforgiven 2006 in Toronto. I think it was 2006. So good. And then of course the match that they had on Raw, that crazy moment when Lita went to do a suicide dive in between the ropes and she just almost like folded, like the way she landed, like her neck. Oh my god, it was just scary. Oh my god, I remember watching that and I just oh my god, I just cringed up and I was like, oh my god, like I thought she broke her neck, dude. Just unbelievable. But yeah, so long story short, I have tons of respect for Trish, and I think she did really good in the opening segment, like holding her moment on the mic, right, by herself, and just feeding into the Toronto scene, right, which obviously makes sense. She's from Toronto, they're in Toronto, duh. So that's cool, you know what I mean? And mentioning that, the guys in the audience and probably there's like a little fan, a small child, and in Trisha's part, like, oh, like your dad probably had a poster of me, and which is kind of awkward, but yeah, whatever. It was funny though, like, and I it was cool that she, like, it's I like that the wrestlers feel like they're having more fun on the mic too and in their segments, whether it's 100% scripted or not. Like moments like that just make you feel like they feel like they're having some fun. So I really just enjoy little things like that. But the part when, well, before we get to that, I do want to give love to Lillian Garcia too, because she mentioned, like at the beginning, she was like, "What year is it?" She's out there. Lillian Garcia is introducing her. Trisha's gonna be wrestling in Toronto, so, and that was kind of fun, right? And I think they said it was like 25 years of Trish Stratus, which is just fucking crazy too. So shout out to her because she looks amazing. But it started to tank when Tiffy came out. And I feel weird saying Tiffy as well. So I'm gonna call her Tiffany. um, but yeah, man, like it just really felt forced to me. Like I don't doubt that they're friends or they have good chemistry or anything like that. But man, it was just like, really? Like, oh, there was a certain line. I forget what it was. I should have wrote it down. But I was just like, yo, like, really? Like, and then Trish was like, oh, it's almost like we have great chemistry or something like that. Or I don't know. Like, I was just like, really? Like, I don't know. It just kind of became more cringe. I mean, I was expecting someone to turn on each other. Like I was expecting either Trish to turn on Tiffany or vice versa because like it just felt like we were like building up and leading to something, and obviously it led to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven coming out. But I, I was expecting one of them to turn on each other, which is not the idea, and it wasn't the idea. But that was just where I was going in my head. But I love Chelsea Green. I just have to say that before we move on and get into anything. I think she is just one of the MVPs. You know, one of the I don't want to say unsung heroes, but just one of those wrestlers that like. And I get like it's one of those that's obviously very subjective as well because especially with her being the women's U.S. champion, it can be one of those arguments in one of those cases where oh she's supposed to be she's a champion, she needs to take shit seriously, and all that, and I totally get that, and I don't even disagree with that. Just and I'm probably I feel like a little bit of a hypocrite, but I just love her character, man. Like I just love what she does. I love how she goes in and she owns the segment. She is funny, but it's not like I don't know, it's just like a different type of humor, man. Like it's kind of corny, but it's not like embarrassing corny in my opinion. Now, this is just my opinion. Maybe, to each their own, but I just feel like she's just she's just very she has good timing. Like she is very good with like reactions and comebacks and stuff like that. So she saved the segment for me, and I love oh my god, her secret service. Oh my god, what does she call her? Her service or something like that for Piper Niven, but it's just great. Oh man, but I'm gonna pull up the chat here, like I said earlier. Good morning, guys. Good morning. What up, Sean? What up? What up, man? What up? Fill up gaming. Smackdown was a good show. Yeah, overall it was a pretty good show. Nothing too crazy, but sometimes you just need a show like that. And I think it was one of their better 3 hour shows that they've had too, since SmackDown has been 3 hours. Um, yeah, Phil, you say this whole thing is kind of dumb, and Cody even entertaining the idea is out of character. Yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about that here a little bit more too, but for sure, I'm gonna actually start that so I can go back to it. Yo, what up, Sai? What up? What up, Sai? Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Okay, so Franklin Delano Bluff. You say I disagree. Cody has been dragged through the mud this year, or this last year rather, and his character invisibly been getting darker. Entertaining the idea is totally in line with his character arc. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm actually gonna start that one too, so we can get so when we get into Cody and Rock proper, we'll definitely. But yeah, man, I know he has had some interesting choices, so we'll definitely chat about that for sure. Philip, you said the last time I liked Cena was when he was heel rapper Cena in 2002, 2004. Yeah, man, that's when I really started loving me some John Cena, man. When he came out with the jerseys and stuff too, yo, that stuff was just prime Cena. Phil, you also say I had a Tori Wilson poster on my wall. way to way to fight the system there, Phil. Way to go against the grain. Um, yeah, Sean. You said I hope I'm wrong because Tiffany has so much potential. Just don't love her as a face so far. Yeah, man. It's so crazy too because thinking back to the chamber, what was that last year? She just had so much effortless like love from the fans. It was almost like one of those situations like it was a no-brainer. Like it's gonna be the like one of the easiest face turns. She's gonna have to put forward very little effort, really, in the sense that like becoming a babyface and being a babyface is very hard, and that's why a lot of people say they like being bad guys because it's easier, right? It's easier to get someone to hate you than it is to love you. So the fact that she was getting love, especially being so new to the wrestling world, was a big deal, right? And the fact that they've kind of fumbled it since then and just really made it more convoluted than it needed to be, it's just very surprising to me too. But yeah, man. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, man, and good morning, Fernando. Nah, dude, we were late here. I was late here because it was having some issues getting logged in. But yeah, man, no, we actually just started not too long ago, so I appreciate you popping in, my friend. Mm-mm. Yeah, Fernando. Yeah, bro. We are going to talk about that, bringing up Dusty and the date on the weight belt, bro. What up, Mike? What up? What up, bro? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, man. And like I said earlier, guys, I will be doing a watch along on my channel, Kickash Podcast, for the Chamber this evening. So feel free to pop over if you like. No pressure. Because and again, like I said, no pressure because I am one of those people too where sometimes like I need to focus on one thing, but sometimes I like hearing, I don't know, because I like watching or listening to stuff in the background too. So if it fucks with your focus and stuff like that, no pressure. Totally get it. um yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to go through Fernando. Nice guys, yeah. Mike, you think he's gonna sell his soul? Yo, like I all right, so we'll just get into it now. Since we technically don't know where at on the card it's gonna be. Oh, thanks, Fernando. I appreciate that, bro. You said the Royal Rumble watch along was fire. I loved it. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you, Maria, and there was a bunch of other people that had popped in and out and stayed for the entire watch along. So I really appreciate you guys, especially because that was my first one. So I appreciate you guys. Um, but yeah, so last night we had the development of The Rock. He wasn't actually in Toronto. It was obviously filmed earlier in the day. He was, I don't know where he was, at some private jet area about to get on to his private jet, right? It's where all those rich people go where they keep their private jets and stuff. I wouldn't know. He drove up and it was, yeah, Cody was the main event. Uh I ended up watching it a bit out of order, so I almost forgot if he opened or closed the show, but he definitely closed the show. But he came out because he being Cody came out with the intention of doing kind of like a little interview, like a little go home interview and just some thoughts with Michael Cole. And that to me right there said, okay, we're not going to hear from Cody because there's like you're going in, especially since he was already on Raw, right? But he hasn't said much, if anything. So the fact that, but I do like that they are having him and portraying him out on Raw and backstage and having different people talk to him and give him advice and stuff like that. So I really do enjoy and like that little touch. But Michael Cole's kind of going a little hard last night on him. And just seeing the reaction from Cody, I'm going to pull it up because Michael Cole has mentioned a couple things, but let me go to my trusty source here. Uh, but just the overall feeling too with Cody and his expression, and it's bothering me too, really quick. And let me know what you guys think because I don't know if I just can't let shit go or if this is deliberate, but I still keep thinking whenever The Rock brings up, oh, how him and Cody have been BFFs for the past year. They even FaceTime this week. They've been texting back and forth. I thought it was funny. Brandy Rhodes sent out a tweet not too long after, and she was like, "Wait, they FaceTimed or something like that." She's so great. Um, I think that it's either deliberate that they're not referencing what The Rock gave to Cody that Raw after Mania, or they just want us to forget about it. And let me know what you guys think, because I think that can either have a huge deal and a huge play a huge factor rather into why Cody was so okay with becoming friends with The Rock, or they're just not gonna, they just want us to forget about it. But I don't know, man. That moment in that act, like that action, like that was so specific, and I don't know, like I can't let it go, and until I know for certain, like I keep thinking about it, and especially when since last week when he's been referencing having Cody become his champion and sell his soul and all that stuff, which we've already gotten into and a lot of people have gotten into, but I feel like Rock is kind of coming at this like almost like he's holding something over Cody's head, or there's just obviously there's an ulterior motive, right? But just something else, and especially when he said, I forget where he said it exactly, but The Rock had mentioned that it doesn't, like, whatever's going on between him and Cody doesn't even need to lead to a match, which I think is very odd. I just there's just so many different like red herrings, and I don't know, and that's okay. I It's okay, but if you have listened to me in the past, you know my, I don't say disdain for The Rock, and whenever I bring this up, that's always the first word that comes to mind. But I just have very mixed feelings about The Rock right now. But it's just something's just not sitting right with me with the whole Rock giving something to Cody, and it had to be small enough to fit in The Rock's hand, right? I mean, dude's got big hands still, but I don't know. Excuse me. There's just something about that I can't let go, and I feel because it's just so jarring. Like it's so jarring for Cody and Rock to go from doing what they did, right? And The Rock just whipping Cody and making him bleed in the Mama Rhodes thing, which again, like I'm trying not to get into, but you almost can't not bring it up when you talk about the story here with them, and just where we're at now, and how happy go lucky Cody is with it. And that's what bothers me. I don't want to say the most, but probably secondly it's just Cody's reaction, right? And Cody, that Raw on Netflix being so happy and so laughy and with The Rock, and just like drinking and stuff with him in the back, and like, dude, like I don't know, man. Like we see right how much Cody obviously loved Dusty, and we see how much he has how much love he has for his mother, right? And parents and family are a big deal to Cody. So for The Rock to be so disrespectful to Mama Rhodes, and then for Cody to just be okay with him and be BFFs now, apparently, as what we're supposed to believe. So I don't know. It's just very jarring to me. So I think Cody's reaction and Cody's response at the chamber really needs to explain everything. Like he needs to explain how he forgave The Rock and how we got here, because I feel like I'm really missing something. But I'm putting up here. All right, here we go. And Cole, man, like I said, he was just going strong. Cole spoke with Cody about having to make a decision in 24 hours. He said Cody knows he would never, or he said that the Cody he knows would never accept that offer from The Rock. And of course, selling your soul, becoming Rock's champion. Cole said Cody is living up to the legacy of his father. Cole said he wanted to bring up what would happen if Cody accepted the offer. Cody started to speak, but Cole cut him off and accused him of trying to deflect. And that's what it was too. Like that was one of the moments that first stuck out to me. I was like, yo, like why? Like relax, Cole. Like since when did the interviewers cut them off like that? Like it just felt very forced. Like I don't know. I didn't. It just stood out to me. Cole said that Cody would defend the title when he won it, and only would work major events like WrestleMania. He said Rock could put Cody on the board of directors, and then Cody could run the place. Cole said Cody could spend most of his time at home with his wife and his daughter. So, reading from ProWrestling.net, so shout out to them and Jason Powell for the transcription. But essentially, Cole was inferring that The Rock's offer would be to Cody, like, look, man, like you can have it all. You can work when you want to. You can only work the big events like WrestleMania, like the big payday events, like Roman. Like you can have Roman's schedule essentially. And you won't even need the American Nightmare bus because you won't need to travel. You'll be at home with Liberty, and he didn't say Brandy's name, but with your wife. I'm just waiting for Brandy to come back, dude. Like, I'm just waiting for her to pop up. Um, I don't know. She cracks me up. But where's I going? Oh yeah, so and pretty much just saying that he can have all the money and all the followers and stuff like that. Like, it's like I said, like, be another Roman Reigns. And it's just, I get where they're going, right? And the callbacks to the corporation and Austin joining McMahon and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't. It all just seems very forced to me still. But Cole said he was being informed. So after Cole was talking about um him pretty much having like a light schedule and all that stuff and doing what he needed to do, and possibly even be added to the board of directors. Which, could you imagine? Like, can you imagine? Like, just the if you take a look at the past 5 years, if Cody ended up being on the board of directors, like, man, like, you go from being on the indies, creating, helping create AEW, coming back to WWE, and then being like on the board of directors. Like, what? And not even just helping create AEW, but being the executive vice president over there, then going back to WWE and then being on the board of directors type thing. Like, could you imagine? That'd be just wild. That would be wild. What a story, man. What a fucking story. Um, Man, but Cole said that he was being informed, he was wearing an earpiece, obviously, that there's a special gift for Cody. And out comes an American Nightmare truck. I believe The Rock said it was a Raptor truck later on. Cole wished Cody the best of luck with his decision, which left Cody in the ring and looking kind of perplexed and kind of uncertain of how to feel, and ended up walking over to the truck. Once we got closer to the truck, Rock popped up on the big screen, got out of his truck, and had a long diatribe of pretty much nothing. Rock said he was about to board the plane and said there was going to be a big night. He said that he and Cody have been talking and texting all week and FaceTimed once. Like, it's just so funny. We FaceTimed once. Like, I don't know, you could have just said, like, we've been texting and FaceTimed, but just FaceTimed once. She's like, okay, not multiple times, everyone. Just relax, Brandy. It was just one time. Just one time. It's just kind of funny. The emphasis on once. But yeah, and then Rock said that he knew that Cody was going to do the right thing. Rock said that he had the truck custom made for Cody because he knows that Cody loves driving on the open roads, the beautiful roads, and the dusty roads, which I thought was kind of clever. Rock said, speaking of dusty roads, he'd been talking to Cody's father all week long, and his father told him that Cody has been talking to him too. Which for me, I just thought that was a little, I don't know, like, just a little much, but all right. Rock said the fans at Elimination Chamber will be waiting all night long for his music to hit. Said Cody will open his arms and embrace him. Rock said Cody will embrace him as his champion, though, by giving him his soul. Rock said he would make all of Cody's dreams come true and mention his wife and his daughter again. He said he had a little gift made for Cody and showed off the weight belt that read Cody's soul. And then there is a date right underneath of it, June 11th, 2015. Rock said this is the date that his father, Cody's father, passed, and it broke his heart because his father was one of his heroes. Rock told Cody not to break his heart again. And he said, I love you, brother. See you tomorrow. And he turned around and went to get onto his private jet. I like, I kind of wish we would be done with the whole family thing about Cody too. It's like, and this is again coming from a big Cody Rhodes fan. I just wish that can we do something with Cody that's not referencing his family or his father? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I get it, but like, just add more layers. Just do something different. Like, it's just the easy play. But putting Dusty's like date of death on the weight belt right underneath Cody's soul, like, it was just kind of a bit much for me. Like, and again, like, I know I'm not offended. I don't get offended very easily at all. Shit does not bother me, but it was just a bit much in the sense that like the whole soul aspect, and then like he was talking to his father, and like The Rock was talking to Cody's father, like essentially talking to his soul and talking to his ghost, right? His presence. And Dusty told him that Cody had been talking to him too. It was just like, what do like like what? Like it just wasn't hitting for me, man. Like it was just very forced again. Like, bro, like just less is more, in my opinion. Less is more. You could have, I don't know. And I guess maybe, I don't know. Like maybe I was gonna say like maybe you can just leave Cody's soul on there or just have the date on there. I don't know. Like maybe do one or the other. But it was just a weird combination to me. But I will say that I am very much again looking forward to what Cody has to say, because I don't think we're at the stage where Cody is losing popularity, really. Like, is he as hot as he first was? No, of course not. Like, things do fade over time, but I think you still have a lot to get out of Cody and out of this good guy run, right? And it's very hard for someone, and I said this on whatever stream, it's very hard for a babyface like Cody in today's day and age to be as loved as he is. He is that corporate dude. Like he already is that corporate dude. Like on paper, right? Like dude probably sleeps in his suit. Like it's just he is that guy that's always turned on. And that sounds weird. But he is that guy that just like is always working, like John Cena, right? Cena was not in suits. He was always in his jorts, but Cody Cody is just that guy already, right? But and that's what makes it so interesting that he is able to pretty much be the guy that you would think that everyone would just despise, but he's just likable. There's just this likability about him, in this sense that you know that he truly loves this business, and he really, I think the best thing he's probably ever done was leave WWE and do what he did on the indies and in AEW, because I think that really added so much credibility to him and so much like respect, just my opinion, because again, like he was one of those that he could have just had an average career and just really banked off of the Rhodes name and done well, right? But not probably even cracked the main event scene. But he said, no, like fuck this. Like I know I'm better than this. I know I can be the guy. And he went out there and he did it, man. Like he bet on himself. He he became the man. Like I see like to say he became the quarterback. So I think the fans just have that foundation of respect and love for him, and that's why you have like the grown men, right? And like that demographic that love him still. And again, like I said, I know it's faded in a little bit, but it's not at the point where it has you're getting like mixed reactions even. So I wouldn't pull the trigger on switching him right now or anything like that, unless you just really want to shock the world. But I just feel like it would really be premature, and it's not striking while the iron is hot. I feel like you can really save that card for when you need it. And that's why I was kind of surprised that they were even teasing that idea. Um, and why I was kind of annoyed with The Rock coming back and even like starting that. But hey, if we get to tonight and the shocker does happen and then Cody aligns with The Rock, then yo, I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong, right? And see how this plays out and just see where we go from here. Now, I say all that, but I I say all that because I'm just saying we don't need this right now, but if and when Cody does turn heel, it's gonna be fucking fantastic, because everything that he's doing right now, he can just snark it up and just be that piece of shit guy that just like rubs his money in your face, like the suits in your face, like smoking the cigars, like all that just uppity shit, like he looks like, I was just saying, he looks like that guy. So it could be very easy to hate him, and especially having a backer like The Rock, right? And having someone who can really add more depth to it, in the sense that, again, I will say what I want and say how I feel about The Rock, but he is good at getting the people to react to him how he wants them to. And that's why it's frustrating for me that he goes back and forth so much, because it's in and just like that press conference that he did, what was it, after last week's show, just really rubbed me the wrong way. I actually ended up turning it off because like I just for me like like I don't need to know all of the behind the scenes and in-depth stuff like that and like, oh, Cody loved the segment. Like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know, man. Like just let me like be in my little kayfabe world, right? Like let me believe or non-believe or whatever the situation is. Like let me just be in my wrestling bubble. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, so that's why I ended up turning it off, because I can turn it off if I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? And if I still want to live in my make believe world, but I just think that if we are going to, for whatever reason, if WWE is like, okay, like we need to turn Cody heel, then The Rock is going to be the best guy to do that. And I think that he can get the people to just hate Cody even more. But at the same token, too, like as I just said that, like I almost wouldn't even. I want Cody to be his own man, dude. Like I feel like Cody can do that on his own, and I don't even think that he needs The Rock for that. I don't think he needs anyone, period, for something like that. Obviously you need the right baby face to have a good foil against, but Cody could pull something like that off on his own. Of course, will it be amplified with The Rock? Obviously, right? Like everything is, but I don't know. Like I don't want Cody's title reign and his reign as the main event guy to be so intertwined with the bloodline and with The Rock. I wouldn't I want that to be a good chunk of it maybe, and obviously like how he got there, but I want him to be known for other feuds too, and really be a fighting champion, and obviously he has been, but not one that is just so engulfed and the only thing that you remember his reign for is just The Rock. Like that it kind of be a bummer to me, but I'm gonna see what you guys have to think here. All right. Dun, dun. All right, I'm just trying to scroll back here. You guys were chatting. Look at you guys go. Oh, thank you, Cy, bro. Oh, I wish I gave you a hug, bro. You're just so great. I appreciate you, man. Franklin, yeah, you say Tiffy feels like a natural heel. She does, but it was just amazing that the natural love that she was getting. And I just can't believe that they just I don't know. They just kind of botched it in my opinion. Like her face run so far. Hello, Elia. Hello, hello. You say hi. I'm new here. Well, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you popping in. Tell me your thoughts if you haven't as I go through on the chamber. CB, what up, CB? You say John Cena is going to win the chamber match, I think, but I would rather see him turn heel after losing the match. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna bring that up too, and I love your avatar. Halloween is the best. Um, yeah, very good point. Very good, excuse me, comparison there, frankly. You said Michael Cole was like the Rock's wise man last night. Yeah, dude, that's very, very good comparison there. And this and Cole's demeanor, how he was acting, for sure. Yeah, you say Moana's invite solve their beef. Yeah, man. Facts. Facts. Yeah, Sean, fuck no. The Rock and Cody, they did not talk. They did not talk. I mean, I'm sure they have, right? But maybe they have. Maybe they have, but I feel like they're like just kind of not polar opposites, but and obviously they have stuff in common. And of course they talk, right? But I just don't see them being buddy buddy. Like I just can't imagine The Rock and Cody Rhodes like going out for some drinks or chilling on the beach somewhere or what, like whatever. Like, like I don't know. I just can't imagine that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think with all this, like we've been BFFs, we need to see they need to take like a selfie together somewhere. like just chilling, not at a big event or anything like that, like just chilling somewhere, just to really hype this up a bit more. My dog Callie's right here, so apologies for the run-in. Oh, right. So you say the best thing about Cody and Rock for me is that we have a mystery on our hands. Maybe I'm overthinking, but the story for me is who Rock's actual corporate guy will be. Yeah, man, and we're gonna get into that point when we get to the men's chamber match for sure. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I'm wondering where the placement of Rock and Cody is gonna be. Is it gonna be at the end of the entire night, like after the chamber? Which at first I thought, like, man, like that's just kind of bizarre. Like, people are gonna be exhausted by that point, right? Like, why? And maybe the idea is like, oh well, when the Rock's music hits, like, they'll get amped up and they'll get electrified, right? But I don't know. So that's why I almost feel like it has to maybe start the show, because it would just be odd to be placed in the middle of the show. But then again, it could be one of those things where you're transitioning from one match to the other, and they just ran an ad, and you have a shot of like just like opening shot of them coming in from a ad that they ran, right? And then you see the fans, and then all of a sudden the Rock's music hits, and then we go from there, right? And he's kind of like the bridge segment. So I guess you could play it a couple different ways, right? But I almost feel like you need to do this before, especially if Cody's not going to accept. So that way, when The Rock, which I guess we'll just lay into the chamber match, that way when The Rock does present it to Cody, and if and when Cody does deny it, potentially whoever wins the men's chamber match could be The Rock's guy, right? And there's a lot of different possibilities. I went through a few of them, but it's so crazy how you can almost make a case for each one of them, which I think is the fun part too. So we'll definitely get into that. But I want to go through your comments here a little bit more. I won't be, since we did start late. I will have to jump soon, just because I have like some like adult stuff I have to do before the show tonight. But obviously we're gonna go through the card here. But sorry for the delay with everything, guys. But yeah, StreamYard just tries to be a bitch sometimes, and just really tries to like stop your shine, but we will not be denied. What up, Walter? What up? What up, CB, Eddie, all you guys? Appreciate y'all being here. Derek, what up, man? What up? What up? You say The Rock's involvement has been messy, but you cannot argue that it has not created an extra level of intrigue. 100%, dude. 100%. And he invokes emotion, right? Like, I'm not just sitting here like bored out of my mind or changing the channel when The Rock comes in or wishing he wasn't there. Like, no, like he does add a level of intrigue. Now, I will say I wish he wouldn't go and just reveal everything 30 minutes after the show. And that's why I said too, like I went out and I sought out watching the press conference, but that's because they hyped it, right? And I wish too, just in general, we like the wrestling gods would just have like an understanding of what we're doing at these press conferences, media scrums, whatever you want to call them, after these big events. Are they real, or are they kayfabe, right? Like, are we supposed to be talking to these wrestlers and these people like, I don't want to say like they're humans, right? Because they're like not like that, but like they're real selves, right? Like, are we supposed to be asking The Rock questions like about storylines? Like, are we talking to him as a character or as the real dude? So I wish we had like a clear understanding of that, and maybe that's out there, and I don't know, but sometimes I get confused too. Like, okay, like, are we supposed to be like staying in the story, or are we supposed to be like asking them like not like real life questions, like not like personal questions, but I don't know, like it's just very very convoluted for me. But yeah, I just wish that we wouldn't just be like pulling back the curtain so soon, right? Like, at least give it a little bit of time to kind of play out. All right, Derek, you also said about Tiffany. I hear a lot of discussion regarding the state of flux that Tiffany is in. Most people blame the booking. I think Tiff deserves the lion's share. She is not showing the ability to be more than one note. And I was messaging with Sean earlier, like she needs to add bass to her voice. Like girl, like I and I don't know, like, and I've heard interviews, so it's not like she just has like a super high pitched voice, like be more realistic, like open up a bit and like help me, like I don't want to say relate to you, but maybe yeah, relate to you. Obviously, like not in the physical. For instance, like oh, like my favorite color is pink too, like not in that sense, but like open up about like your struggles to get there, or not even like if you don't want to go that deep, but just have me buy into you and just your hustle and the hard work that you put into it, right? And just the effortlessness that she had getting people to like her when she first came up to the main roster, it was just in her ability. So I don't know if she's just one of those that just can't verbally portray it. But and again, to be fair, like she is still very new too, right? Like she wasn't even in NXT that long, so it's not like she's had years of practice under her belt, like on even on the indie scene, or really just honing her craft in that regard. Like it's gonna take time with her. Now, and if we were like 5-6 years into her being on the main or being on the main roster, I almost said being in the main event. Well, she is in the main event, but well, kind of. You know what I mean. But being like a big deal and a main player, then I'd be like, yo, like she like what are we doing here? So I'm not like completely like writing her off or like yo, like she sucks and or anything like that, like or she's just not a good baby face at all. I just think it's gonna take more time, but I think she needs more development too. So I think it's just more I think you're probably right. Like she needs to open up a bit more, but I don't know what's preventing that. And I think that's kind of what I'm waiting to see. Or if it's just um we have this saying at my full-time skill not will. Or is it like a skill or a will thing, right? Like do you just lack the skill to do it or do you lack the will to do it? And I don't think it's the will at all for her. I think it's just maybe the skill at this point. So yeah. I just think it's going to take time. Um, but I just think we just need something to really, really like latch on to with Tiffany. No, CB, you said you can't remember Cody defending the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber. No, sir. He is just chatting with The Rock, chatting with his BFF. Mackenzie, yeah, Cody Homelander heel character will be very intriguing. Dude, it's gonna be insane, insane. I can't wait for it, but I will definitely be here for it. Just not right now. Not right now. Dominic, what up, bro? What up? What up? No, it's StreamYard, man. It's StreamYard. They wanted to stop our shine, man, but they're not gonna prevent us, man. They can't keep a good thing down, bro. They just can't do it. Bum. Sai, you said I think Rock and Cody goes on last, which is a major angle alert. My prediction: he beats on Cody and is joined by the Chamber winner, a heel Cena. This is I am not a booker, bro. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna use that to get right into the Chamber because, like I said, I'm like me, I ramble about shit for too long. But the Chamber. So let me go to the actual card here. So the chamber match we have obviously John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, they misspelled his name, and Seth Rollins. Can we drop the freaking like oh my god. We don't have to type freaking. Like it's not it's just crazy. It's like his middle name now. But yeah, so Sai, you think a heel Cena. And it's so funny you say that, dude, because I was watching some clips before went live here, and the fact that Cena, speaking of press conferences, right? After Cena lost at the Rumble and he didn't want to take any questions, he just went out there and made a statement like in serious Cena, right? And very disappointed and he was like it's time for it's his time is now. It's his time to kind of be selfish and to take reins, no pun intended, of WWE and be like, look, what's best for business is me being champion and me winning number 17. So my time is now, right? And I think it's very interesting that he was so serious in his tone because we have not seen a serious Cena in I don't even know how long. And that's my number one gripe with Cena, especially well, that's my number one gripe, but my number one hope for his last tour, right? His last run is now tour, whatever it's called. The last time is now. Take it seriously, bro. Like I don't want to see the happy go lucky Cena like just come out and pretty much like copy and paste the same type of promo, right? Like, oh, this is my last time in Toronto, this is my last time in Los Angeles, my last time in Phoenix. Like, okay, like cool. We obviously that's why everyone is here to see you, right? Like be serious about it. Like don't oh, can I maybe like when he was questioning like should he go for number 17? Like, maybe I could win the Rumble. Maybe I can, like, just come on, bro. Like, you're a grown ass man. Like, we get it at this point, right? Like, I don't, like, I guess we're all in on the joke, but like, no, like, take it seriously. So, the fact that he was serious at that press conference and we haven't seen him since, no pun intended again, I was thinking this morning, I was like, man, like, what if I don't think it's no, let me just say, like, I don't think it's actually gonna happen, but what if you guys know me, or if your first time tuning in, I love to play devil's advocate. I love to be that person on the other side of things. So, what if Cena does in this last run, he does turn heel? And my thought though was that he wasn't going to win the chamber. My thought potentially was having, and this is kind of a little bit long term ish, but having Cena lose here, so now he's pissed. Now he's like, well, how else do I get to number 17? And yeah, of course, the Money in the Bank ladder match is there, right? But I don't know. Like to me, we've already done that with Cena in the past, and I just it would be weird seeing Cena in a ladder match, first of all, again, and at this stage in his career, but also seeing him if he did win, like walk around the briefcase, you know, like I mean he's not that he's showing up weekly or even once a month at this point, but just seeing him hold the briefcase would be very strange at this point because he's John Cena, dude. And that's what plays into me thinking that okay, if Cena loses and The Rock comes out, and maybe it's like maybe let's say Punk wins, and Punk is just not going to play into that corporate card, right? Like we all know his hatred for Dwayne. He even referenced it, and maybe that could be a red herring as well. There's so many herrings out there, but that could play into Cena being pissed, right? Like we get down to the final two in the chamber, and it's Cena versus Punk, which oh, that'd be amazing. Just see, we have to have Cena and Punk lock up, man. Like we have to have them do something, and just really, I think we should get at least one more one-on-one match between them before Cena hangs it up. Like, what are the odds? Like, who would have thought that we would have had Punk and Cena back in WWE before they both hang it up? Like, it's just crazy. Like, the world is crazy, life is crazy, but we get down to the final two of them, and Punk beats Cena, and Cena is pissed. Rock comes out, and everyone is like, "Oh shit, is he gonna align? Like, is Punk going to align with Rock? Like, and there's just all these questions, right?" And then Cena aligns with The Rock. I just, if you want to do it then, or if you want to wait and do it after Mania, I think there's a couple of different potential avenues that you could go down with Cena and The Rock, whether Cena loses at the chamber and he's still trying to, like, he's pissed, but he's like, all right, fine, you know, like, still being the good guy, goes on to Mania and wrestles Logan Paul, for instance, right? We'll just say Cena and Logan Paul, which would be, I'm not going to get into that as Cena's last WrestleMania match, but let's just throwing it out there, right? Just for the scenario. But at the end of the night, it's a situation where Cody retains the championship. Rock comes out because he's pissed. Cody never accepted. Cody never became his champion, right? Cody still has his own soul. Cody's his own man. He's doing his own thing. He retained his championship against CM Punk, we'll say. And Cody is about to move on to bigger and better things. Out comes The Rock. He's coming out there to confront him. We're all thinking like, oh, Rock is going to beat down Cody, all this, that, and the third. And then Cena's music hits. Cena's music comes out, or maybe The Rock does start just whipping the shit out of Cody with the weight belt, right? Like the Cody Soul weight belt, all that. And then Cena comes out. We think Cena's going to come out and save the day because Cena's still a good guy at this point. He won his match against Logan Paul. he should be happy and still trying to figure out, maybe he's declared early for the Money in the Bank match. He's thinking of different ways to get to number 17. So he's coming out because he's a good guy to save Cody, and bam, he just turns on Cody, whacks him with the steel chair, or takes the weight belt, whips him with it. I just goes crazy on Cody, right? And then we get an alliance of The Rock and Cena. Like, that would be just fucking crazy. Yeah, that's why I end up talking forever, guys, because I just go off on a little tangent. But what if, man? What if? So, oh, you say that's why you're not a Booker side. That's why I'm not a Booker either, because people be like, "What the fuck?" And they probably hate me. Like, that's why I feel like I always say, like, it's so easy to play Monday morning quarterback, right? And to go like, "Oh, they should have done this," right? Because it's so hard creating. So I will say though, the pick for the chamber match itself is so hard because of what we've been talking about, right? Drew McIntyre, I think, could be a fun corporate guy for The Rock, and it would make sense, right? You can play into The Rock being the one to present Drew his contract extension and give him like that nice new sword. You remember that video clip when Drew was out to dinner with his wife or somewhere? So they obviously have history there. Drew has always been the chosen one. Now he could just be chosen by someone else. So I think that you could really make a case for Drew McIntyre as well. And again, part of me too is wondering if The Rock and this is assuming Cody is going to decline The Rock's offer, right? If the person that The Rock chooses is going to be someone who wins the chamber or not, because the person that he chooses can be so pissed that they lost and have no other option but to align with The Rock, right? And feel like they have no other way out and no other way to victory and to success and to the promised land than by selling their soul to The Rock. So, and again, like, I even played around with Punk doing it. I contemplated it, but I just don't see. I just can't see it. And for the same reason that I said with Cody, I just don't see Punk turning right now. I think it's still a little premature for that. I think Punk probably turning before Cena or before Cody is a high possibility. But I just don't see that right now. Logan Paul, I feel like that would almost be too obvious. And I think we may even be getting Paul and AJ Styles at Mania. But I do think it's very, like I said earlier, with Cena and Logan Paul at Mania, I think it's very interesting that Logan Paul came out to Cena's music. And like I said earlier, just so well done. If anyone could pull it off and do it, and they were saving it, because they used to do that more frequently in the past, but just perfect. And because Logan Paul is just that slimy piece of shit dude that just like loves people hating him, and that's why I respect him, dude, because he at least like owns it. He doesn't go out there and try to be like, oh, like, I don't understand why people hate me. Like, he fucking knows and he owns it, right? So, not saying you have to love him, but at least the dude, he knows, like, he doesn't play oblivious. And then you have Seth, man. Seth, you can make or obviously you have Damian Priest as well. I'll just get to Damian Priest really quick. I don't think it's Priest. To me, it could elevate him, right? But I don't want I like Priest where he's at right now. Like, yeah, he's not, the spotlight isn't on him, but I think he would be. I like him where he's at. I'll just say that. Long story short, for time purposes, I like Priest where he's at. Yes, it kind of sucks that WWE is in a position where they have so many big main event guys, because maybe he would be more involved this year, but I just don't think right now the story is about him. So I'm just kind of disqualifying him from that right now. But hey, would it be against it? I would just want to see how that would play out in the story that they would put into it. But getting to Seth Rollins, Seth would be interesting because you just think of the story, right? Obviously with the Shield, Seth turning on the Shield, turning on Roman, his history with Roman, all of that. And of course, we know the bloodline relation with The Rock and Roman, and how Seth has just been so adamant about making sure the bloodline is not in power and that they stay out of the title picture. They don't run WWE, all that. He was Cody's shield, right? You can make a case where Seth is like, fuck it, man. Like I like Cody is entertaining the idea of aligning with the bloodline. He partnered up with Roman. Like Cody is the reason for a lot of his problems, and he aligned with Roman Reigns, right? Tagging with him at Bad Blood, going to war with him. So Seth can use all of that as disdain for Cody and wanting to, and what he said to about CM Punk, right? Like over his dead body, would CM Punk ever main event WrestleMania, right? Or be the champion or whatever. So I do see Seth being willing to sell his soul, right? And being willing to be that guy to align with The Rock. I just feel like almost if The Rock wasn't related to Roman, I could see Seth joining up with The Rock, but I just think it'd be a lot for us to undo all the hatred and everything that Seth did last year to prevent Roman retaining the championship to now this year aligning with The Rock and essentially aligning with the bloodline. So, yeah, it would be a lot. I wouldn't say I would hate it, but I again would just need to see how they explained it. So, that's why it makes all of this so fucking hard to decide on. But I'm going even making my pick here now, like I'm going Cena though. Am I going Cena? Oh, I want to go Punk. I want Punk to win, and I feel like he has a good shot at winning this. But I just for some reason too, like I don't really see Punk, and I don't know. It's just so hard. I'm fucking glad I'm not the booker, man. It's so hard because I don't see Punk and Cody happening this year. But then, like, what do you do with Punk? I don't want to see Punk and Rollins, right? Or Punk and McIntyre or a triple threat. I don't know. It's really hard, but I think I'm gonna go. And for me too, like just thinking about and I guess he doesn't have to, right? Like, because I was gonna say like with Punk winning or finally getting his WrestleMania main event, you would think that it would kind of just be like that fairy tale, right? Like he would win the Rumble and then go on to Mania. So does he really fulfill his WrestleMania main event dreams by winning the Chamber and then going on to face Cody? I don't see like why not. It's just not how I would have imagined it. And again, like not even saying that's a bad thing, but it's just not the typical like fairy tale ending, right? Um so that's why I'm like, man, like I don't see Punk cashing in on that this year. But then, man, like I really can you imagine like this year we get Punk and Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which is where I feel like we're going to. And I don't know if Punk would like be pissed off by that or like feel slighted by that. So I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, Paul did slap the shit out of Punk, and then they had their little rendezvous on SmackDown last night. So I think we could be leaning that way as much as I'm kind of like I don't even know how to really feel about that right now. But I do think it would be such a fun build though. I think it'd be fun to hear what Punk has to say about Paul and vice versa because I feel like Logan Paul, like he knows, like he knows what he's supposed to do as a bad guy, right? But and he knows boundaries, but I think he is one of those guys and that type to be like, fuck it, like, like ask for forgiveness later. And I think he could reference something about Punk or Punk being in AEW or something just to really just piss off CM Punk. So I think that could be a fun build. So the more I sit here and think about it and talk about it, the more I wouldn't be against it because I just really feel for whatever reason, maybe I'm just way off base or just too like ingrained with the WWE way. But for Punk winning and getting to his WrestleMania main event, I feel like it's going to be the route of the Rumble. I don't know why. Again, like if he wins the Chamber tonight, I'm gonna be super fucking happy, obviously. But yeah, I don't know why. I just feel that way. So I feel like Cena is going to win the Chamber. I feel like he is going to win the Chamber to move on to WrestleMania, because I just feel like with this being his last Mania, it would almost be a disservice to him and his legacy and what WWE can get out of this being his last Mania match than to have him being anything less than the main event. So no disrespect to Logan Paul, but I think that we are going to get Cena and Cody Rhodes. Just the spectacle of that too, right? Like the two big dogs, right? Like sorry, Roman, of WWE, like the prior face of WWE and the current face and the future face of WWE being Cody Rhodes. And like I was saying earlier, with their similarities and things, like I think you could really play it up. And then too, like if you want to tie Cena in, because the story right there, the baked in history with The Rock and Cena as well, like you could get so much out of that. So I think that's where we're gonna go and what we're gonna lead to. But if we do, like I don't want Cena pinning Punk. So I hope the final two end up being, I'm gonna predict the final two in the Chamber end up being Logan Paul and John Cena. I think it's gonna be one of those situations where Seth Rollins and McIntyre just beat the shit out of CM Punk and just leave him lying, and then Punk or Paul slides in there and gets the 1-2-3 on Punk. So then that sets up their potential match at WrestleMania and gives Punk even more reason to be pissed off at Logan Paul, and to want to take care of this so he can get him. And because if you notice with Punk, his story has been he keeps getting all these obstacles preventing him from getting to either the WWE Championship or the Heavyweight Championship. So it'll be kind of like a story too, where he needs to eliminate Logan Paul out of his way to get to the championship. So I think you could very easily go through that story. So my official pick is going to be John Cena wins, and we get Cena and Cody at WrestleMania. Cody does decline selling his soul to The Rock, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with corporate if we get corporate Cena. I think, man, if I was the booker, I'd say fuck it. Like, not make Cena going out there and hating little kids and shit like that, but have him be corporate Cena, man. Just do it. I don't think we will, but just do it, man. And if not, who? Like New Day would say. But yeah, we'll see. That's why I'm just so excited for the Chamber too, because there's so many different outcomes and so many different possibilities. And I hope I am not just rambling tonight during the watch along, because I don't know. I don't want to ruin it for you guys either, but I'm just so pumped for it. It's gonna be a good time. But moving on for time purposes as well, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, the unsanctioned match. I almost feel like this match, I've heard it elsewhere too. I almost feel like this match is going to be, quote unquote, match is going to be one that doesn't even really start. I feel like it's going to be just a brutal beatdown from Kevin to Sami, or maybe vice versa, where they can't even officially start the unofficial match. And then that leads us to WrestleMania. And I really feel like these guys, with their feud, with how invested they have been in each other's careers and lives, I feel like a proper, maybe not even blow off, but blow off for now would be them at Mania. And it's, I'm not breaking news here or recreating the wheel. A few people have said that, but a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania would just make so much sense for these guys. So I don't personally see either one of them getting a quote unquote victory over the other. And again, maybe I'm off, and maybe they do, because technically this match isn't official either. So even if Sami were to beat Kevin, I could very easily see Kevin coming back and being like, yo, like, yeah, okay, you may have pinned me, but it didn't count, you know? Or vice versa for Sami, like saying it, but just in a nicer way. So that's kind of my thoughts for this one. I either see it being just fucking brutal, or I think brutal in one or two ways. Either it's prolonged and it's like one of those matches, kind of like a stadium stampede type match where it gets a falls count anywhere, where it goes over the entire arena type of thing, or it's just very brief and then it continues on at the Hell in a Cell, or not the Hell in a Cell, but in the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. But yeah, like, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't necessarily see a winner here. I just feel like it's one of those matches that's, quote unquote, it's not even a real match, right? It's unsanctioned, it's not official. That just gets blown off. But Yeah, we'll see. Or both neither man can compete or continue to compete, right? They can't get up type thing. And then of course we have Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus facing off against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. This one's just probably gonna be short and sweet. I would imagine less than 10 minutes. Tiffany and Trish pick up the victory here. I am going to be intrigued though to see if Trish turns on Tiffany because I just still have a weird feeling coming out of that segment. Like y'all are just too cutesy, like too buddy buddy. And Trish did mention, I'm pretty certain it was Trish that, or maybe I'm thinking of Nikki Bella, but that she wanted to come back and potentially have like another run. I know Nikki did, but I'm not sure if Trish did as well. So maybe I'm conflating that. But Trish has been involved more frequently recently, especially in the past couple years. So I could potentially see her. I mean, we are so close to Mania though, so not starting a new feud. But could you imagine though if Trish does turn heel and we end up getting a triple threat? Trish Stratus, Charlotte Flair, and Tiffany Stratton at Mania. um, I wonder how people would feel about that. Like the majority of fans, if they'd be happy because now it's not fully focused on Charlotte. Um, and you have the history with Charlotte and Trish right there too. So I wonder if that's gonna be a thing. But I don't see Trish being a heel right now or turning heel. But it's just like a brief thought, but it's probably going to lead to nothing, right? Like they're going to pick up the tag team victory here. A cool moment for Tiffany. Trish is trying to put over Tiffany, especially give her the rub in Canada and all that stuff. But I think this is just kind of serving its purpose for the location, the people available, giving Tiffany something to do until Mania. So we'll see. Then the final match that we have here is the additional chamber match for the women. We have Liv Morgan facing off against Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. And again, like I'm not gonna get on this beat the dead horse right now on this one, but like they need to really give more love to the women's division on the main roster. Like I don't. It's just frustrating at this point. And this one's kind of hard, like especially with Liv Morgan just picking up the tag titles recently. Was that this past Monday? Um, I don't. It's hard, and I really don't want to see Liv and Rhea again. I don't think we have the story in place for Rhea and Bianca right now. I think that one needs a proper build because it's a match that's just waiting to happen. Yeah, but it's not this year type of thing. So I feel like you want to keep that on the back burner for now. And Bianca is going to be involved somehow with Jade Cargill, man. Like something's got to give. Her and Naomi, for that matter. Bayley, she's the utility player, man. Like you can put her in anywhere you need to, but I don't see the dynamic between Bayley and Rhea really being it this year. So that leaves us with Roxanne and Alexa. And I'm going with Alexa Bliss, man. I think that they just haven't built Roxanne up. I mean, yes, she had a great run in NXT, but she just isn't established on the main roster yet because it's so soon. And Alexa just has that star power. She has that fan base. She has that demented side of her still, right? So I think you could very easily not even have her be the bad guy, but have her in like that dark realm, right? And have her be a foil against Rhea. And I think that they could get a good match out of each other. It's probably not the most exciting one or the most intriguing one, but looking at the lay of the land, like I definitely don't want to go back to Liv Morgan. So and I just don't see any other realistic option unless one of them gets like if Roxanne gets beat down like backstage and Becky Lynch returns, right? And I don't even necessarily want to see that either. Like Becky and Rhea. Not that I don't want to see it at all, but just I don't know. I feel like Rhea. I don't know. It's just not hitting for me for whatever reason right now. So I'm going with Alexa Bliss on this one. Again, could be way off, but it's just kind of what makes the most sense to me. That's just how the math is mathing on that one for me. And reading through your chats here, and then we will be wrapping up momentarily, guys. Thank you so much for popping in. Like I said, I apologize for being late, but shit happens, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys for filing in and watching, whether it's on Twitter or it's here on YouTube. I appreciate it very much. Sai, you say, what time does my watch along start? That is a great question, my friend. The official. What time does the pay per view officially start? It's what normally at like 8, right? Or is it going to be 7? Let's see. But I will probably. So 7, okay, Eastern time. So it starts at 7. So I'll probably start my live stream. We'll go like, I don't know. We'll go like 6:45 ish, maybe, just to get all the kinks out. I will have the pre-show on in the background. Obviously, just to because they do a great job with the video packages, and I am a fan of watching video packages. I'm not gonna sit there and like religiously watch them all, right? But I like hearing it in the background. So I'll probably start my watch along over on Kagash Podcast at like 6:45 ish, we'll say Eastern time. Um, but yeah, it's a great question, Sai. That's right, Dominic. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. StreamYard can't stop our shine here, man. Hell no. Yeah, Sammy. What up, Sammy? You say it's too early for a heel change. It hasn't even been a year yet. Yeah, man. That's what I was saying. Exactly. Exactly. Sean, you agreed. Yes, drop the freaking please. And it's like, even when he's being like announced for like little things, like interviews or something, or like the media scrums, press conferences, whatever. Seth freaking Rollins, like, okay, like bro, like stop, like he's not. I don't know, like I feel like it's almost like a running joke at this point, but it's like it's very irritating for me. Yes, I okay. You said that scene oppressor is exactly what I was thinking of. He came across as a entitled heel. I really think it's on his bucket list. Dude, yeah, and why not, man? And again, like as much as I was like bitching about what The Rock has been doing, you can kind of see you being seated, you can kind of use that as a foil. Be like, okay, well, The Rock is out here playing 4 different versions of himself at once. Why can't I? Like why can't I be the bad guy on TV, but immediately follow it up and make sure like all my fans, like all the kids know, like I'm still a good guy. You know what I mean? And like nowadays, like I mean, he's definitely still doing Make a Wishes, but like it's I really don't think that if Cena turned heel and was just like the worst despicable person, like I don't think it would even tarnish, even like slightly fracture any part of kids wanting to meet him. So yeah, dude, why not? If you're he's mentioned like I don't know what interview it was, but he had mentioned in the past where I don't even remember the year, but he thought it was a good idea and he was down for it if the company wanted to, and Vince just didn't want to. So why not, bro? But I just yeah, man. Why not? Just but again, like I'm that person where I say fuck it, just do it. And a lot of the shit that I say just do it on doesn't happen. So yeah, Dominic, you said the same thing. A heel punk rock, punk rock, punk and rock power trip can make for a great chaotic television too. Yeah, bro. Just the dynamic between them. Oh, yeah, it could, but I just think it's too soon. Oh, okay, the boss. What up, the boss? What up? What up? You say Drew McIntyre is winning. That could be a sleeper pick, yo. But I just don't see McIntyre facing off against Cody right now. I mean, you could, but I don't feel like that being the main event match for Mania right now. Yeah, boss. So you followed up. What's Seth dressing up like tonight? It's a very good question, bro. Very good question. What did Punk call him? Oh my god. Oh my, an oven mitt. Fucking hilarious, bro. Fucking hilarious. Oh, Eddie. Ooh, you say Bliss isn't worthy. Coming in strong. E, what up? What up? E, what up? What up, bro? What up? What up? Super Cena begins tonight. Wouldn't surprise me, bro. It, like I said, it would not surprise me at all. Kevin and Sammy, yeah, it's Mike. What up, Mike? What up? What up? I think I said what up to you earlier. You said it's gonna be so sick, Kevin and Sammy. I think, yeah, dude. I think it's gonna be a brutal match one way or another. Oh yeah, fucking 2 hour kickoff. Yeah, we ain't doing that shit for 2 hours. Yeah, no. My watch along duo probably start around 6:45 because we have lives. You know, fucking 2 hour kickoff. No sir. No sir. Eddie, you think Roxanne is the best option? Okay, okay. I think Roxanne has great potential and a great future on the main roster. I just think it would be too soon right now for her because I don't see her beating Rhea, and why have her get to that point just to lose? Without I made the case for Jordan Grace if we were gonna have something like that, like just come in, just go strong. But we just haven't been doing that with Roxanne yet. So I just feel like the momentum isn't there. So just just not this year, man. Not this year. Give her a little bit more time to get seasoned and to get the main roster people and fans rather more familiar with her. Yeah, y'all agree, man. Bliss is not worthy, but like, but who, You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, who else? You know, that's why I was saying earlier too. Like, we gotta do something about this women's division. We gotta put more love on this women's division. Like, I don't know if he needs someone directly devoted to them or what, but like, we need to do something. We need to do something because there's no other. What we're gonna do? Liv Morgan again? Like, no, and she's the tag team champion, so we can't. Like, and yeah, you say Bailey. But Bailey doesn't like Bailey's been all over the place. Like she's lost I'm gonna say frequently, but she's lost recently, and I don't know, man. Like, and I love Bailey, man. I love me some Bay, but I'm just not feeling it right now against it for a Mania match against Rhea, man. Like I'm not seeing it, and I think that with the Alexa Bliss character right now and the fact that she is kind of reverting to her, not even kind of, but she has reverted to her old, I don't like tormented ways, right? Like I think that she's kind of like a mix of them right now. Like she's kind of like a blend of her characters, but I don't know. Like I feel like we could at least get more TV time filled with a program between Alexa and Rhea. I'm not saying it's the best one or the best answer, but out of the options that we have, in my opinion, because I just like I said again, I think it's too early for Roxanne. Naomi and Bianca are tied up with Jade, or they're going to be, and we've had what a year of Liv and Rhea already. So I don't know, man. Then it's just kind of process of elimination, sadly. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Fernando, you said Bianca is the most worthy of them all. Yeah, she is, dude. She 100% is. But I just don't think that that's the story they're going with right now. Like on paper, fuck yeah, dude. Like it wouldn't even be a question. It would be Bianca and Rhea all day, every day. But the story that they're going with has been Jade, and like the question, especially since they just recently brought it back up with the discovery of the footage and like all that being brought back up, what, within this past month. I just feel like if Jade wasn't going to be involved with Bianca and Naomi at WrestleMania, or one of the two of them at WrestleMania, then none of this would have been brought back up. It would have been maybe tabled until after Mania. But you can make a case for Naomi being the one who attacked Jade, Bianca being 100% innocent. Bianca wins the chamber. She has her match solidified. Jade comes back to, like congratulate Jade, or Jade comes back to congratulate Jade. Jade comes back to congratulate Bianca maybe next week on Raw, or the week after on Raw. And then she's like, yo, but I do, like, we have to talk though. And she's like, I know who attacked me. And or she comes out and she's like, we think she's gonna come out and congratulate Bianca, right? And she's like, I know who really attacked me. And then she shows the actual footage, and it's Naomi. And then Bianca is all distraught because she thought she had a best friend in Naomi and all this stuff, right? So you can branch it off to where Bianca does have her story with Rhea, but now she is pissed off at Naomi as well. But that sets up a Naomi and Jade match at WrestleMania. But I almost feel like why that would take away from Rhea in Bianca's story. And the reason I'm not saying Bianca wins this year to face off against Rhea is because I feel like the story with Rhea and Bianca has been one that's kind of been festering for years now. They were the two standout women in NXT, was that 2019, and the kind of not question, but the I guess dream match has been Rhea and Bianca, and we just haven't been positioning Bianca in that singles route and in that story realm where she's leading to that potential like big moment with against Rhea, right? And I would want it to be more believable that Bianca has a chance of beating Rhea. And I almost feel like if she were to win the chamber match and then to go on to win Rhea, she just it wouldn't be as strong as it could be. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on that one for now. But yeah, man. You said Bianca is not going to be tied up with Jade at Mania. Jade is not going to take on both of them at the same time. Naomi versus Jade and Bianca's. Oh, well, shit. That's exactly what I was just saying. Yeah. So great minds think alike, dude. Great minds think alike. Um, Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and Sayu said I think they keep Jade back for the Raw after Mania. That's what I'm thinking too. But why even bring up the whole video footage when they did? Like you could have saved that shit for closer to Mania to where we get that okay, like Jade's gonna be back after Mania type thing. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's gonna be real interesting to see who ends up being right here and what prediction comes true because that's what I was saying at the beginning of this. It's so fun this year going into the Rumble in the chamber because everything is such a big possibility. Everything is just such a big what the fuck and a big what if. um but yeah, going through here to finish up with some of your comments and then I do gotta run. But Dominic, you said if you turn Bianca heel, maybe she attacked Jade. You can make her and the Street Profits as dominant heel faction and power couple. Dude, I have been preaching this for as long as I can remember. I have just envisioned Bianca and Montez being a power couple and just running WWE, dude. Like I could see Montez maybe not even a year from now, like dethroning Gunther, like just being the champion and just fucking running it. That has been my personal dream and my personal one for them for like probably years at this point since the Street Profits have been up on the main roster and Bianca for that matter as well. Like that's what I'm saying too. Like I feel like maybe going into next year because the Street Profits are now finally taking themselves seriously, right? And being a more serious act. Now after possibly Bianca goes through all this bullshit with Naomi being the one to attack Jade or whatever and just being like, you know what, fuck this. Like I'm tired of relying on people. I'm tired of being like I'm done with this, and just really maybe not even being like a heel, but just being a more badass version of herself. But personally though, I think like a heel Bianca is the best Bianca because just thinking back to her NXT days, that magnified on the main roster just has so much potential. And again, tying her up with Montez, obviously her real life husband, like just money waiting to be printed. I just and you don't even need to break up the Street Profits for that. You can make them a powerful trio and kind of have D'Angelo just D'Angelo said your name. Hawkins um being the enforcer, right? And just kind of being the muscle in the group and just being that guy to that Montez just sticks on people, right? Like I just think it's just money waiting to be printed, man, for sure. Ugh. But yeah, dudes, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. I do have to wrap it up. I have to go take care of some dumb adulting shit. And then I will be back for, like I said, my watch along this evening over on Kickash Podcast on YouTube on around 6:45 ish. Definitely will not be doing the full 2 hour pre-show. Sorry guys, I got some shit to do, and yeah, but I will have that on the background, and we will be starting like I said around 6:45 just to get all the kinks audio wise out and just making sure everything syncs well. But I appreciate you guys so much for joining me here again. Sorry for the delayed start, But StreamYard tried to be just one of those haters, man, but we're not going to let that. If you are not subscribed here for popping in, I appreciate that. And like the show if you liked it. Just like it too, man, but you just got to let me know why. That's all I ask. Drop it in the comments. But like I said, I appreciate you all for being faithful, man, and always popping in on these Saturday morning streams. I appreciate that. I hope I see some of you guys later on for the watch along. If not, again, I totally get it because sometimes too like sensory overload. So I totally get it. But until next week, guys, until I am back here live Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the chamber, enjoy wrestling, enjoy the next week of wrestling that we're going to get, and we'll be back next Saturday to chat about it. So take care, guys, and have a great week.